especially for her to be my first daughter. That was like a major eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is it a child, but that's your baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want her growing up. You don't want her to do none of that. You want her to stay your little girl forever. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing daddy a lot from my daughter is give me a warm feeling inside too.
It do, don't it?
Like my son, he called me like dad, dad, dad. Like, not saying he don't give me no fuzzy feeling, but it's the daughter. It hits a little different.
Ain't nothing like it, bro.
Like I don't love. I love you, daddy.
This is For Fathers, a podcast for fathers to uplift and encourage each other with the understanding we are the forefathers of the next generation. I'm eloQuint. This is episode 110. And today I got my boy, Shaddarrius Wilkerson, man. Tell everybody what's up.
What up, man? How y'all boys doing? Y'all good? Y'all good? We got something to talk about, man. We got some stuff to talk about. We got something to talk about.
Every time fathers get together, man, we got plenty to talk about.
I feel like we be holding it in, you know.
Man, and that's like the beauty and what I found out, what really the foundation of this podcast even is really because we hold it in too much, man. Like how much pain us men go through that we don't even let nobody know, and we try to, like, you know, get it out through playing basketball or doing others, finding the girls, or, you know, diving into different things that we don't need to be diving into. You know what I mean? Instead of just chopping it up.
That's all we need. I think, honestly, and keep it real, keep it a being with you. Some men are probably scared to talk to their homeboys about stuff like this. Honestly, like I got one friend that I know I can really sit down and have a conversation with outside of me and you having this conversation now. And I know a lot of people that I can sit and have a conversation to. And obviously, you know, I can have a conversation with my wife, but as far as man to man, it's one person, and it's sad in a way, but everybody not the same. So
Yeah.
I don't hold that against nobody. But as far as what we're trying to get across, that needs to be like, it needs to become a social norm in a way.
Oh yeah.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree, man. Well, why do you think that is though? Like, just from your perspective, why do you think it is that you only have one friend? Like, I think a lot of us can say we only have those couple people that we're really willing to just open our heart to. Why do you think that is?
It's a connection thing. Like, it's something, honestly, like you asking me that, it's something that cannot be explained for me. Like, as far as love for your kids, they can do anything in the world that's 100% wrong. But name one parent that you know that's gonna go against their kid. And
Right.
you ask them why they did that. I can't explain it. That's just my child. That's the love and connection I have for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just a connection and an understanding type of thing. And a no judgment zone. And it's sad because there's a lot of people out here in this world that judges a lot. And who are we to judge? Literally.
Right.
Like, I can't judge you. You can't judge me. What are we talking about? You know? What?
I get that. And so, like, I guess I think that's very true. Is like the environment that we create. And so, do we as men have a habit of creating environments with our homies that they don't feel comfortable to express themselves. Even ourselves, we might be the one creating that environment. You think that's a problem as well?
Yeah, as far as creating it, yes, because some people don't feel like opening up. You know, some people it's hard to open up, and let's say to open up to your homeboys who may joke around a little too much and may not take you serious, and it's like, man, my boy, I'm trying to talk to you as my friend. I need you to understand me, but it's hard, and I try to create that atmosphere, and I think I do. I feel like you personally can pick up on that feeling that I try to give off, especially where I'm on the court. Like I talk to y'all like I've known y'all. I don't know you, but me and you talk, and I try to create a comfortable atmosphere all together. But like you said, you got some folks out there who just don't want to accept, probably.
Right. And we all got that one jokey friend that's gonna make a joke out of everything.
Yeah,
like brush up. Anything a joke. Hey, nothing could be serious. And they, it seems like in my experience, those are the friends that needed the most. Those are the ones that really hurting the most, that try to make a light of every situation because, man, they don't know how to deal with it. And I think all of us struggle with dealing with it. Like, how do we deal with our emotions that we've been told since we were kids that we don't need to be tapping into? Man, you a boy, why you crying? Or you need to shake that off. You need to suck it up. And I think as parents, that our older generation parents, like our parents and maybe and our grandparents, they kind of not started, but they fed into that environment that made it feel unsafe for men. And it was, I think it's inadvertent. I don't think it was not purposeful. I think, especially in our culture and where we come from and what we have experienced, we had to do that. Otherwise, we won't gonna make it.
Yeah, subconsciously, you don't think about stuff like that. But then sometimes people just need to sit back and just observe, and that's what I've learned. I think I have my daughter at 20 years old. I at 22, 23, 26 now. At 23 years old, I had to sit back and observe a lot of stuff. And you learn a lot when you shut up and listen. So
you ain't lying.
when you be quiet and you sit back and listen, you get a lot of stuff start to come to light. Like sometimes just be quiet. And it's literally as simple as it gets. Like it gets that simple, and it may sound like it should be more to this of what I'm saying. It's other than me further explaining what I already said, but it don't get no simpler than that. Then just be quiet and listen. But
I mean, that's real. I mean, that's how we discern, and that's how we even create our environment, like our friends up in that sense. Like we watch. Like I came up to you about the podcast because I watched you. In a sense, like I said, on a court, somebody that's going to talk, even not even just talk about being friend, but we talking about back screen. You got a pick coming left, or look up, look ahead. I got you. I'm gonna get you the ball because I see you cooking, all that kind of like somebody like that. That's when you're like, okay, it matters. Those people that are quiet on the court that don't, they're not like teamwork worthy. Like you know what I mean? Like you can tell it's a vibe about them. So I definitely get that.
It wakes your people up. It wakes your friends up. It wakes your teammates up. What they don't even have to do anything with sports. Like just a simple conversation can open up a lot. Like at work, like you walking around, you see everybody moping, and don't nobody feel like they want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get to talking to folks, and you may talk about something funny. You may talk about work, but as far as like opening that door to letting someone like I guess open up back to you in a way can really go a long way. Like you said, as far as it's the simple stuff like back screen. Oh, help! I got your help. Blah blah blah. This that and third. All that. It opens up a lot, and it helps open up the other people. Open up the other side of folks that I know that they have, but you may not know, or I may not know. And then it's like, oh, okay, so he is okay. He can talk. He not quiet. He not mute. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he can
Yeah.
talk. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, we good then. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's
Yeah, I definitely rock with that, and I think I I think it just it starts with us being vulnerable ourselves. Well, I don't want to use vulnerable because that means like leaving yourself open to attack. But like it starts with us being open to communicate. I think when we see somebody else willing to express themselves, even if it's not like getting down and dirty about everything that happened, right? But you just give a little bit of yourself. I think that opens the door for people to come in and like, okay, this dude,
yeah.
is willing to talk about, kind of the hard conversations, especially as men, like we said.
Yeah, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You want to etch out a little piece, just to see if they're gonna bite for it. And if they do, they do. If they don't, it's cool. Fall back. Don't pressure them. They will open up when they feel like it. You know what I'm saying? It's a pace thing, pretty much. And definitely being a father is a very, very much a pace game.
What you talk about a marathon?
Yeah. So yeah, a
so
marathon. You
so
said.
even with that, being a father, you got a son and a daughter, correct?
Yeah.
So even with that, with your own experiences and what we just talked about, how do you? I know they're still young. I think both our kids are young. So
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like? And for you as a parent, like how do you plan on, especially for your son, make sure the doors open for those emotions, or for your daughter, giving her your emotions, knowing that you're not a closed off man.
Um, I think to help with that, as far as my son opening up and my daughter, the balance between the relationship between the mother and the father is very important. Because there's some stuff as a mother that I'm not gonna be able to teach, and there's some stuff as a father that she's not gonna be able to teach. So that perfect balance in between the parents, both male and female, being in the child's life, could definitely help emotionally, mentally, and obviously physically. When it comes to certain situations, like opening up, that's perfect for a mother to do. It's great for a father to do, but at the same time, the more sensitive level of that emotional aspect obviously comes from the mother, right? When we talk about nurturing and taking care and all that type of stuff, but then when it comes to the teaching, the do's and the don'ts, and being very, I don't want to say stern, but the discipline part that can obviously come from the father. Think
Right.
about it. When the mom is at home with the kids and the kid's not listening, what's the first thing that comes out the mother's mouth?
You gotta
I'm
call
gonna tell
you.
your daddy. I'm gonna tell your daddy when you get here, like,
Uh-huh.
because they know that's why I say that's where that balance come in. It literally doesn't get no easier than that. Like you may think someone needs to come up with this whole complex answer as far as what the question you asked, but honestly, it just all boils down to being balanced, and having that balance in the child's life is very important.
I definitely agree with that. So now it sounds good for those that are in the house together. But what about people like us, where we are
That
both parents is not in the house?
that's
We
very
co-parenting from two different households with two different rules.
right. At a point, it got to be some sort of obviously understanding when he or she is here. Obviously, I'm going to take in. Let's say the bedtime is 9 o'clock at your house. Bedtime at here maybe not only to 10 o'clock. But as far as that whole little hour difference, as co-parents, we obviously gonna have to find somewhere to compromise. So compromising being co-parents is a very big thing, and it's kind of I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it boils down to is compromising. So as far as co-parenting, whoever co-parenting out there, definitely look into compromising as far as the differences of each household, because obviously y'all not gonna have the same household rules. You know what I'm saying? But the word of the day for that question would be compromising. Definitely, compromising is definitely top priority.
Yeah, and I think we both hit on off air how hard that can be.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we talk about the simple solution, stuff like that, and it
Yeah,
sounds good. But
yeah,
some people, as you and I experience,
yeah,
that
definitely.
that junk don't matter. Hey, it's
Yeah,
got to be. And for me, like I was bullheaded, and I still can be bullheaded sometimes. So it's my way to highway. Like, yeah, you think but I'm the man. I should be leading all that kind of stuff. Even though we're in two different households, it should be what I say. I think men could do that, and it could be overbearing sometimes. And also, the woman says she lives the kids in my house. I got the rules. You should have married me if you wanted to, have a say so and all that kind of stuff. So, and I think you've hit on that as well off air. So,
yeah.
when it gets difficult, what's your method, or have you even figured it out yet? Because I know it can be difficult. How you go about that?
So as far as like the disagreements,
Well, just like how to compromise with somebody that's not really trying to hear you.
okay. So sometimes, and a lot of people are not gonna like this, but when it comes to the pride, because that's exactly what it is. It's
Yup.
the pride. Obviously, you have to be that person who makes the decision to accept whatever comes with that. So as far as what you said is like they may not agree with you. So this has to go on in their household. So and this obviously has to go in your household too, because they said so. You might just have to swallow that pill and just deal with it. And
Mm-hmm.
then once they get once they start to realize that, it'll honestly get a lot easier. Sometimes it may lag a little bit, but it'll get better because they'll realize that you're not really trying to go back and forth with something this simple.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep the peace between everybody, you make that decision. So you still in control. If that's how you want to put it, because
Yeah.
it's a mind game to some folks, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So if that's how you want to put it, you still in control because you accepting that you can still go on about your life when your kid is with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm the kid's parent just as much as you. I'm not gonna let nothing happen to this child. Whether they go to sleep at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock. If we gotta be somewhere early in the morning, they gonna get up. I don't care what they crying about. They gonna get up in the morning, get dressed, and brush their teeth and all that. But like I said, swallow that pill, be the bigger man, and I promise you, it'll get a lot easier for you.
Man, if you ain't telling the truth, it wasn't until I just stopped being prideful, bro. And I stopped just being hurt. And truthfully, if you want to be real
Yep.
about it, how things went and how, went together, all that kind of stuff. Like, if you want to be real about it, when you really swallow that as a man, being a bigger man, everything starts to smoothen out. And like you
Yeah.
said, a lot of times, I don't know if this is your experience, but they thrive off that when you get angry about little things. And they can keep going back and forth, and they can keep in
Yeah.
contact, and then they can use it like, oh well, you got mad, so you can't see her, all that kind of stuff.
They
Whatever the case may
feed
be,
off that energy.
feed off that energy. And unfortunately, some people need that. And it might just be a season, or it might just be who they are, period. But
Yeah.
some people need that. And when you feed into that, man, it just gets worse and worse
And don't feed
and
into
worse.
it. I can tell you right now, my first baby mama thought I was gonna keep doing that with her. No, I'm not. I was not about to keep doing that with you. You can argue with my that little read receipt at the bottom of that message because I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you. I'm not. That ain't me. And my daughter know I love her to death. I ain't about to keep going back and forth with you.
How long did it take you to learn that? Because it took me a while to learn that lesson.
Honestly, I kind of learned a little quick because I got an old soul, you know. So like I said, I had my daughter at 20 years old. I think at that point, as far as like swallowing the pill or whatever, and my pride, I think I learned that around like 20, maybe 22. Because I seen a pattern. I pick up on patterns quick. Like I said, if you sit back and shut up and observe, you see a lot. So I picked that up, and I'm like, I'm not about to keep doing this. I feel myself giving you a bunch of energy that I know you don't deserve. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this short. And lo and behold, it got a lot easier for me because she picked up on it. I'm not about to keep going back and forth. So it stopped. It tried to go back at one point, but I think it's because she got a little boyfriend. Don't matter to me. I don't really care about that. Honestly, I don't know who you trying to show off for. I don't show off for nobody. So, and people know me. I'm gonna explain something to you as simple as I can. If you do not understand that, I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it.
See, I'm curious because it took me a lot longer than that, but I also was fighting to have a family. I was fighting to like have that relationship, and I guess I was hurt. I got my feelings hurt, my heart broke, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'm wondering, was that your experience? Was that why? I'm wondering why was it easier for you or quicker for you? No, I won't say easier, but quicker for you to do.
The reason why it was quicker for me is because I can adapt to certain situations a lot quicker and easier than most folks will. So obviously, whenever me and her broke up, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through it. But the moment I realized that it won't be nothing more than baby mother and baby father, that's when a switch clicked, and I was just like, oh, okay. I was still hurt, but I stopped holding on and I just let it go. I think some folks, they still hold on to it. Some people don't even know they still holding on to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people probably still got their fist balled up, but they walking. You still holding on to it. Let your hand go. You know what I'm saying? Just find a way to let go in that aspect. As far as trying to get your family back. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. You just had a little slip up. Now you got a kid with this woman, and you just gonna have to deal with it for 16 years, 18, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So and that's where it comes in. Where you said it when we was talking before we hopped on here. You live and you learn.
Right.
Sometimes it takes 2 times to figure that out. But other than that, ain't nobody perfect. Like you said, ain't nobody perfect. There's only one man perfect, and that's the man upstairs. So,
right.
and
I think, man, I took too long to let go. As you say that, I think that's why it was so hard, bro. Like I said, it took me years to get to that point. Because like I said, I guess because I grew up that way. Both my parents, I thought I was supposed to emulate that. If I wasn't like that, then I was failing. And I'm big. I've always been big on not being a failure, trying to be the best. You know how it is. And so I think the image, because I knew that she won't write for me, but the image of being, in the house with my kid, that family, that dynamic, I think I was ready to risk it all, even if it's unhappiness. I was ready to do that.
He was more so searching for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The title that some people get it mixed up. They think that love story and having the title is the same. It, I'm putting it to you like this: some folks mix up peace and quiet. Like, so you can see how you can get that mixed up.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking for peace. I don't want it to just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So it like I said, it's tricky. And I think another thing that helped me realize and be more observant is during college I did take a psychology class.
Oh, okay.
So as far as like as far as searching for that and looking towards like, can I figure this out? Or I'm dissecting stuff as me and you are speaking. I'm thinking of a million things in my head while having a conversation with you. So, and I was like 21 at the time. So,
That
yeah,
gave you a little edge. A little
yeah,
edge.
a little bit, a little bit. I'm still learning, obviously, because I like to surround myself with people who are older and a little wiser than me. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
You need them lessons.
I swear.
And I think I just want to go back on their peace versus quiet. I think that's
Mhm.
real big, especially like in sermons and stuff. I hear, peace is not the absence
Mm,
of pressure or trials or tribulations, but it's having a sort of calmness during
mhm.
it, within it. And quiet is just you expecting everything just to to be always be good because nobody making no noise. But
Right.
peace is really like what Jesus was on Jesus was on a boat, and the disciples were scared, thinking they about to sink, and Jesus is
Mhm.
sleeping on the pillow. You're like, man,
Yeah.
what you talking about? You forgot that I'm here, because
Right.
Jesus is the peace that surpass all understanding. He is the one that guards our hearts and minds. So I think people, I think that was a really good point. I just wanted to harp on that, and that's one thing that I think is real common around men, and especially ones that had in the podcast, like
Mhm.
especially the one that's been through things that we've been through like this. They're like, I just want some peace. Like, what do you want for your birthday, man? I want peace. Like,
Right.
I just want, I want things to be even keel and to be good, and just to have that calmness and have your people that you love around you.
Right. Yeah. It's tricky, bro. I promise you, it's tricky, and it sucks because I feel bad because we got fathers out here who aren't realizing it until it's too late. And what I mean by that, you got some who get locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Some may kill the girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
or the girlfriend may kill them. So it's only two scenarios: either in jail or you dead. And I've seen I've seen a couple people who I actually know a girl personally. Rest in peace. She actually, her boyfriend actually murdered her up in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, and over him being upset. You know what I'm saying? And it's quick to. It's not quick. It's very hard to see what somebody is capable of without knowing them for so long. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you may think I don't. I'm gonna say it. I don't know my wife. My wife don't know me. We've only known each other for almost 2 years now.
Right. I see what
Love
you're
her to
saying.
death. Love her to death. I don't know what she's capable of. She don't know what I'm capable of. Right? And you just have to have some sort of guard. Obviously, you have to protect yourself at all times. I don't care how long you've known this person. I don't care what y'all been through. I don't. That part don't matter because obviously it's literally evidence showing killings, beatings, stabbings, and shootings, and all this. And some of those, I don't know how many. We just gonna say, let's say 15% of those are marriages and
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend and girlfriends and baby mama, baby daddy.
It's probably higher than that,
I've
honestly.
I've seen so many videos on Facebook. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
That has gotten leaked, and it's bad. I don't know if I can say what it happened because I'm just gonna leave it at it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was raw, uncut footage, literally. You know what I'm saying? It's scary.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing to sit here and I'm not saying go home and sleep with one eye open because
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. Because you don't know who you sleeping with. Obviously, you know them to a certain extent because you trust them enough to be in the same household with them, to share a
Yeah.
relationship, to share everything in the world that you possibly both can create together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that at all, but in a sense, obviously protect yourself at all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In that aspect of it being that dangerous. Maybe I should have said that. In that aspect of being that dangerous. If the arguments continue, go see somebody. Go get some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something I probably should have did with my second baby mama. We ain't even about to get into that though. But we should have. I probably should have went and go seen somebody. But oh well, I can't change it
Right.
now. Whatever happened already didn't happen. So it's
I definitely think you were saying without saying. I didn't think you were trying to clean it up, but like you basically saying before it gets to that point, go
mhm.
see somebody. Like I said, like you say, you wasn't saying that going.
Yeah. Don't.
You worry about who you marry, but it's just like, hey, before it gets there, because emotions are real. Men sometimes we don't know how to express our emotions, and sometimes we result to anger and all that kind of stuff and violence.
Yeah.
So before it gets to that point, just go see somebody.
Right.
Especially because you love them, you married them, you want to be with them forever.
Definitely.
Make it work because marriage is work. Marriage ain't no smooth
Right. That's
ride. You're
a
gonna be in
rocket.
waves. You're gonna be up and down. And,
Definitely.
I've only been married what
Mm,
married in December, so months. Already been up and down, not to the point of being at people's neck, but still up and down. But you still gotta learn to love, and marriage is that perfect picture to help us see ourselves in the mirror, so that we
mm,
could become better if you let it happen.
right. Because marriage, and that's the beauty about marriage, the journey that you two will take. Like because it's gonna be 10 years, 15 years from now, and you just gonna sit back and just be like, yo, we really got through this.
Yeah.
We really like you gonna think like, yo, bro, it was really a point where I was about to be like, I don't care no more.
Yeah. You
Like
know how
think
quick
about it,
that
'cause,
is to do that.
like 15 years from now, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the beauty of marriage. And then the time that I've been in the marriage game, obviously, I'm young, I'm only 26, and I will say that I don't regret it at all.
Hmm.
You know
Agreed.
what I'm saying? So, and whatever we've been through, I'll do it again
Yeah.
and again
Make you
and
stronger.
again and again. Just to be,
Mhm.
it's like a muscle. You tear your muscle. It's like working out. You know what I'm saying? You tearing muscles while you working out. You know what you're doing? You ain't doing nothing but gaining more muscle, making it more stronger, and and and,
Mhm.
and then it's gonna become something beautiful.
Even the Bible talks about, marriage being that perfect picture, um, that brings that is a perfect picture of Christ in us and the church is the body. And so, how think about how much Christ has done for us, working on us. Times we, broke his heart, times that we didn't do what he has called us to do or wanted us to do, and times that he had to mend it. And that's the same for us, right? Like you said, you tear a muscle, you working out, it hurts at first, but as you do it, you get stronger. Things we go through, we get stronger. Times we fail God and then come back and receive his grace and his mercy, we get stronger and we have a better relationship. And like you can attest in your marriage that after everything that you've been through, you got a stronger relationship. You know each other more, you love each other deeper. You learn something you didn't learn before. So it's very true. I do it again and again.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't see myself giving up. You know, especially not. And it's been what, like I said, 2 years, and it's a lot of work that's been put in that short amount of time. And yeah, like you said, the way that man worked up there,
Mm-hmm.
that, that man be doing some miracles. But I'm telling
He do.
you, I don't question nothing. I don't question nothing at all, man. I just obviously I accept it. I try to understand it, and I sit back and I observe. I'm like, okay, you know what? He got me.
Yeah.
He got me. And whatever tries to knock me back down, I don't. I look at it as, okay, why is this happening? What's going on? What am I supposed to do with this situation now? Like, let's say my car been breaking down for a week straight. Bro, why my car keep breaking down? Why? Like, what's going on? Whole time, me not knowing, I've been working on my credit score. I didn't save up enough money to go put down on a car.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me, son, get rid of this car and go get you a brand new one. You know what I'm saying? It be stuff like that we don't piece together. And sometimes it takes us a long time. And I've had this happen to me. It's probably a point in time where it took me so long to realize what he was doing that he literally slapped me. You know, like he literally slapped me like, yo, bro, come on, man, what you doing? And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad, sorry. Then I realized, and I'll be like, okay, my bad, I got it. And then that's when I'll start to pick up on the signs a lot more, because I put it to you like this: if we don't realize them in time and they hit you with that hard smack, it's because you're not really with him.
Amen.
You can say I'm a Christian. You can say I believe God. I can say that all day. I can say I'm an atheist. I can
Mm-hmm.
say I believe Buddha. I can say a lot of stuff. Basically, what I'm saying, I can say a lot of stuff, but you have to literally put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it ain't just literally going to church. You can go to church every Sunday and not learn nothing.
Yeah.
You gotta apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta listen. You gotta listen. That goes back to what I said. Be quiet and listen. That's literally what that boils down to. Just sit back and listen to him, man. I promise you, he ain't gonna stay in the wrong path. That man, he got you. I promise you, he do. You just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
You just definitely. That's one. Now I should have said that from the jump. You definitely have to be patient when it comes to him, because, like I said, I'm probably already explained this, but that process, as far as that weight of being patient, he wants to take you through that process of that struggle that you know that everybody claim they going through.
Mm-hmm.
That struggle is a lesson. It's literally you sitting down in school, not wanting to be here, but you have to learn some of the stuff that they are teaching you in order to do what you want to do in life. And this is how simple it is. Let's literally, what's crazy? And I'm kind of upset at myself, right? I'm kind of upset because it's like we having this conversation, asking me these questions, and it's like some of these questions may may think people like, oh, this needs a complex answer. It literally doesn't. Like, you can come up with a simple analogy to make someone understand what's going on in life, and that's just how simple it gets. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say. Like, that's how simple it can get. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's, and then it's sad because it's like, don't not everybody thinks like you. You know what I'm saying? Not
That's
everybody thinks
hard.
like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
hard.
Not every, and that's something you have to also realize. No one thinks like me. So I don't know. I'll be
But
trying.
even in even just to bring it back to parents and like or not marriage, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
our wives don't think like us, and so how for me, bro, hey, I still working on it, boy. I be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like,
All right.
but you can't be pointing fingers. You can't be, being dogmatic and stuff when they think differently. It ain't harmful. It's still a solution. It's still is apt for the situation. But it's like, but that don't make sense. Like, that don't make sense. You shouldn't do it. We do it this way. I'm still working on it. I'll be honest, but you be struggling with
So
that.
yeah. So okay. So that's funny because I do this a lot. So I already explained to my wife that I obviously don't think like you, and you obviously don't think like me. So the way we compromise with that is that if we have a situation that we're not seeing eye to eye to, she'll literally break it down step by step as far as what was going through her head and her mind and her process, right? Then I will break it down in my head because I would say because I'm a very specific person when I speak. When I say I'm going to the grocery store to get 2 bags of chips and a honey bun, that's what I'm going to get. When she says that, she's going in there to buy. She can say, I need some new pads, some tampons or something. She going in there to get a gallon of milk, a carton of eggs, some chicken, 4 boxes of cereal. She may stop in the clothes section somewhere. And I'm saying that to say because when I explain something, 1,000 thoughts go through her head. 1,000 thoughts go through a lot of women's heads. It's just the way they process. They multitask. That's what they do. Men are
Hmm.
tunnel vision. Literally, that's what we were created to be, and that's what they were created to be. So I had to explain to her, baby, that's not what I meant. And I'll reiterate, because sometimes, women, they get off the wall and they get overstimulated and all that and third. You have to calm them down. No, baby, this is exactly what I mean. So as far as compromising and explaining to each other what we actually meant, is how we get past that milestone as far as the blame game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you didn't understand what I was saying, da da da, this, that, and third. So to prevent any of that, I'll sit back and literally, this is what I meant. Don't take what I say and come up with a whole nother scenario, because that's not what I said. What I said is literally what I said, because that's who I am. And I have to realize, because when she'll explain something to me, I ask her questions. Because now it's to a point where when I say something to her, it's no confusion. Sometimes we still working on it, but we're still working on it. But when it comes to her, because I know how her mind can get sometimes. She'll say one thing, and then I'll ask a series of questions. Not to be funny at all. I'm not trying to do that. I'm literally trying to get an understanding of, okay, why did you think that? Okay, why did you think this? Where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? So as far as the oh you don't as far as you don't think like me and I don't think like you, it just it comes to just basically trying your best to understand folks. Caesar talk to think of, I'm gonna think to talk. So I would sit and think about something before I say it. She's saying literally what I just said, everything that's in her mind, and she will say it out loud. But like I said, we came to an agreement or understanding that that's who we are. That's why I would sit there and let her talk to get it out, so it's not overflowing. Like I said, women are multitasking. There's a million different things going on while they washing dishes. They thinking about what they about to cook tonight. What time the kids got off their bus. I gotta wash these clothes. Dang, we need some all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Man, we take one thing at a time. So that's how I work with it.
Did it take you long to learn to sift through like the words? Because you said like, what did she say? Think to talk or
Yeah,
talk
she's
to
a
think.
think. Yeah, she's a think to talk. I'm a think to talk. She's a talk to think.
Yeah. How long did it take you to learn to sift through? Because you say you're only 2 years in. I know you're still working on it, but like, how long did you get to this point where you had to make this agreement or just have this conversation where y'all can just have effective communication?
Because I sit and observe. Literally, I sit back and I observe, and I figure it out. I'm like, okay, she's overwhelming herself with these thoughts. So to help her out, she says it out loud. She can't. She probably won't even be talking to me. She just says it. She has to get it out, right? So I understood that. I'm like, okay, she has to get that out. Now, as far as what she may be trying to say, that's when I would ask the questions that I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So those series of suggestions she may throw out there, I ask a question for each suggestion, and then that simplifies what she was trying to say. Unlike me, I take 2.5 years before I say what I need to say. Because I'm very precise and I'm very specific when I speak. And she knows this. So it's a lot more simpler for a certain situation dealing with anybody when you're straightforward, obviously. If
Yeah.
if you're straightforward, it don't get no simpler than that. So that's why it kind of works with us. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like you the type. I'm the type too. Like we might have a disagreement. We're having a discussion. Like I gotta think about what I'm gonna say first. Because if I just say like what's first on my mind, I'm gonna say something I'm gonna regret. So and sometimes for my wife, she wants to talk about it right then and right there. I'm like, look, like, I gotta think about words. I gotta process everything you said already because I guess I could be a slow processor, if you will, maybe. Like I gotta really think about it, and it might take me some time. It might take me a day or two, like to really understand. Like, okay, she said that, and I'm piecing things together. But like right in that moment, like I'm just pop off in anger or just say something. Like I said, say something I don't really want to say. So does that sound like the same thing with you?
Yeah. So in that aspect of argument, right? Like at first I was speaking from just a regular disagreement. Now, if it comes to an argument, I never say anything that I regret. Whatever I say that comes out my mouth is what comes out my mouth. I don't care if it sounds sarcastic. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Because the way I'm saying it, obviously the other way I said it did not go through, or you did not comprehend it that way. So I will say it another way. And I'm not saying it because I want to be spiteful. It's just, some women, not saying it's about my wife, but some women are used to that aggressive tone.
Mm-hmm.
You got women out here that are prone, embedded in their head that this is the way someone shows their love for me.
That's real.
And that's the only way they understand. Not saying that's good. Because I don't need to be yelling at you for 20 minutes to finally give you an understanding. I just wanted to go to this gas station to get some gas in this car. I don't need. I don't. You know, I don't need to be doing it. So I just. Yeah. That whatever I say out of anger, I don't necessarily say it in the anger. I don't know if I say it. I know when I talk and I'm mad and I'm yelling, it'll be the same way I'm talking like I'm talking to you now. I'm just have a louder velocity in my voice, get a lot deeper, and I'm just yelling. And I'm just saying it more aggressive. But I promise you, if I turn that volume down, it's gonna sound just like this. I'm just loud.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't never black out and start cussing and
Yeah.
calling you out your name. You know, that's something I never did. I don't care how mad I ever got. I never called a female out their name. So, um, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so even to go back to like, a lot of women, like just how they grew up or the experience they had before us, or before that husband or whatever the case may be. I think it's up to us. I think that's one of our jobs, really, to kind of reprogram them and to show them the love they never had before.
Nope,
I
that's
think
not my job. That's not my job. That is not my job. I'm
it's not,
sorry. I'm
it's not your job.
finally disagreeing with you on. That's not my job. That's something
Well,
for you to figure out about yourself and for you to realize. Because I can sit here and talk to you for 5 hours, 7 days out the week, and you not understand anything I'm saying. Think about it. For you to sit here, matter of fact, if we go back to the conversation me and you had, how long did it take for you to realize that you needed to let go?
too
Now,
long.
was it anybody that probably could have said that you needed to let go?
Oh yeah, too many people.
And you didn't listen.
Right.
That's my point. That's not my job to. It's my job to show you that it can be better, but it's not
Hmm.
my job to help you realize. That's not me. That's not my job. You have to realize that for yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. You do have to realize it for yourself. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But I do think that as the men of the house, we lay that blueprint down by example. And what I mean by that is by, like you said, showing her the better way, right?
Mm.
And showing that love she never had before, and by example and by living it, and not just talk. Like you say, like we just talked about Christians. Christians can say they're Christian, but they ain't living it. So you
Right.
really ain't no Christian. You can
Right.
say you're a husband, but if you ain't really living it, you ain't no husband. If you ain't showing the love,
Yeah.
and showing the love that Christ showed us, then you really falling
Yeah. Yeah.
short. And
Right.
so I guess in that I understand what you're saying, but I think in that regard, when you live by example, they are more inclined to fall in line and to really just fall under,
Definitely.
so
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean. But like
Mhm.
you can't change her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
only Christ can change us. Only the Spirit can change us. But like I still think it's our job to show them that
Oh
love,
yeah.
show them that
Yeah.
compassion, and then eventually it says God's kindness is what brings us to repentance. So
Yeah.
our kindness and our love to them is what going to bring them around. That's what I mean. If that
I'm about to
clarifies.
say. I'm about to say. Yeah. I can lead that horse to that water sitting over there.
Yeah,
I can definitely lead him to it.
yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I ain't. Yeah. We ain't got. Yeah. But yeah. As far as being the husband and the leader, husbands they they really got a lot on their plate.
What?
I'm not saying obviously, women they got a lot on their plate, but as a as the husband, as far as who's dependent on you,
The
that
whole
weighs a lot.
family.
You know what I'm saying? Like that weighs a lot. Cause think about it, if the kid goes to the mother don't have it, right to the husband.
Hmm.
There's just it now the husband got to deal with the wife. and you got to deal with however many kids you got that also have that same problem that you brought to their mom. Now you got 4 sets of kids and your wife to deal with. Cause
Looking at you for an answer.
Cause you the backbone. You the safety net.
Right. The foundation.
Yeah. So.
And that's real. And I think that's why a lot of men, I think they say, I forget the statistic. It's like 4 times, maybe 3 times more likely than women to commit suicide. And that's why it's so important to have these spaces where men can just really just express themselves, because we hold it in too much, man. We got a lot on our plate. We got the foundation. And especially if we're not built on the cornerstone, Jesus Christ, like, bro, you gonna crack under that weight. I mean,
some people ain't got the right crowd around them neither.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So it's we do got a lot. And like you said, we're the foundation, the backbone, the ones that everybody's leaning on. They need to come through. Because if everybody else fails, daddy gonna come through. Right. So I think that even calls for us to even make sure that we are sharpening ourselves, whether it be with knowledge or emotional intelligence, all these things. Like, I'm listening to different books. I listen to a book by Jason Wilson right now talking about emotional intelligence, because I needed to dive into my emotions and understand them more. So I got 4 daughters, bro, and a wife. I mean, I got nothing but girls, so I gotta figure that thing out, bro. Like, I can't. I know, bro. Chill out. But I can't. I can't still be that dude that don't know how to cry. You know what I mean? I still can't be that dude that don't know how to tap into my emotions so that I can talk to my daughter when she's feeling the way and kind of relate to her in a way. Like we talked about earlier, I mean, the mother's more nurturing, but as a man, you still, because they come with daddy's girls. Like, I know too. You can't be so hard and not be able, and so callous and not be able to go there with them. So, like, it's important for us to learn these things so that we can grow and continue to raise our families.
Being a daddy to a daughter, right? That right there, especially for her to be my first daughter, that was like a major eye opener. Because not only is it a child, but that's your baby girl. You know what I'm saying? You don't want her growing up. You don't want her to do none of that. You want her to stay your little girl forever. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing daddy a lot from my daughter is give me a warm feeling inside too.
It do, don't it?
like my son, he called me like dad. Like, not saying he don't give me no fuzzy feeling, but it's the daughter. It hits a little different.
Ain't nothing like it, bro.
Like, I don't love my daughter no more than I love my son, but that feeling, that I guess I can say that about both my kids. Hearing daddy in general from both of them is like amazing. I guess it hits more though because she is my firstborn. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
she got to the point where she could say daddy, and it was just like, okay, this is real. You know? And like you said, as far as being that daddy's girl, it's just that's a big one. That's a big chip on your shoulders right there.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah, that. And I love every minute of it. I'm not gonna lie. It was a point in time I was at work and I had missed a FaceTime call from her. And now it's FaceTime is set where you can leave like a video voicemail, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I still have this video on my phone. And it won't nothing but her saying, "Daddy, call me back. I miss you." And I can't tell how many times I look at that video.
Yeah, I believe it, bro. I believe it.
I can't tell you how many times I stare at that video and just watch it. I replay it. The video 8 seconds long, maybe 6, and I rewatch it every single time like I'm watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I go when I go pick my son up from daycare. When he see me, he be like, "Dad," and he'll take off. And now he got this thing like you seen at the game the other day. He dropped down like he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so the growing up part
It's
is
beautiful.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see. And then I just like obviously I see myself in them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, damn, I used to do that. That was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, that right there, that's a good feeling for me. I like that. If you would have told me back when I was 18 years old that I was gonna have 2 kids by the age of 26,
Say you crazy.
I was like, man, you tripping? That ain't me. I don't want kids, so it can't be me.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, that was I was one of them kids going, man, I don't want no kids, man. I ain't gonna have no kids. I'm about 30 years old.
That's crazy. I've
Um,
always wanted a family. I ain't wanted that early, but I definitely always wanted a family. That's always a goal for your boy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I probably should have said it like that then. Not that
Oh,
early. I always
yeah,
wanted because I grew up wanting to have twins.
bruh. I'm hoping these are twins right now, boy. My wife
Yeah.
is not feeling it, but I really hope we got twins right now. I'll be so hyped.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause my daughter, she was supposed to be a twin, but in the early stage of the pregnancy, that didn't work out.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it won't nothing. It was literally like in the literally of the beginning of finding the sack. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mm.
like, oh, we seen two. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh
Oh,
snap. You know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't that heartbreaking. Like as far as
mm-hmm.
like during the labor, we lost a child, but it would have been nice. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
It would have been nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I,
two
I
girls.
definitely get that. Yeah, that'd been fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so just to wrap it up, man. If your kids were to look at this down the line, man, just years when they get old enough to understand all that kind of stuff, what is something that you would say to them?
Daddy love you. Um. He he tried, and I think they know that. Even at this young age, like my daughter's 5, my son's 2, ready to be 3. I'm pretty sure they know their dad did everything they could to love them and take care of them. So, and yeah, yeah, they know their dad would do anything. Their dad would lift up a bridge and let them cross it if he had to. You know what I'm saying? Like they know that. I don't really have to say a lot because I'm more of an action type of person. You know what I'm saying? But if they were to sit back and watch this, they can be like, yeah, my dad loved me. No doubt at all. Not even saying it, obviously because it's my kid, but literally. Can't nobody take my spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really care about the little boyfriend. Nobody can't take my spot.
Right.
So yeah. What about you? If if your kids were to come back and just let me see what they was talking about. Click and sit back and watch this because I see the relationship with one of your daughters you bring to the game. She likes to stretch them.
This yeah, yeah, Amar. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
little
yeah. She like, yeah, I like that. I said, okay, I see, I like that. So yeah, as far as that aspect, what would you think they would say?
What I would definitely say to them is no matter what, I'm always gonna fight for you.
Right.
Whatever that may look like, whatever mistakes you may make, whatever things you may do that you may or may not approve, or I didn't make it as far as basketball as I wanted to, and I always thought my dad thought I was a failure because I didn't. And he told me, and I talked to him not too long ago about it. He said, I never thought that about you. I wanted you to do more, but you're not a failure because you didn't get as far as you wanted to because of your own decisions, babies, and all that kind of stuff. Like, so whenever you don't reach a goal that you set, you thought you can reach, or that we talked about, or that, I put so much time and effort in with you, I still gonna love you.
Right.
I'm still gonna ride for you. I'm still gonna fight for you. There's nothing that you can do, like just like with Christ, man. There's nothing we can do to separate the love, and that's the same thing that I have for them. So I definitely want them to know that, whatever they aspire to be, or don't aspire to be. Hopefully that's not the case, but I'll still love you. Whatever, if you choose not to be a Christian, I still love you. You know what I mean? So I just want them to know that there's nothing that can separate, that love I have for them.
See, that goes back to that conversation we had, that connection, man. You can't,
yeah, bro.
You can't cut it off. Like you said, I don't care if you don't believe in God. You still my child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna protect you at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's real talk, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, I really appreciate you hopping on, taking the time out your day, man, and chopping it up with me about fatherhood, about our kids, man, about love, man.
No problem, man. You gotta, we had some good conversations, touched bases on a lot of stuff that honestly need to be talked about, and obviously, hopefully, got a lot more fathers out there who would, be more open and not worry about who gonna say this about you if you do. You know what I'm saying? So just I hope this reaches a lot of fathers, honestly.
Likewise, my brother. Hey, this is episode 110. Hope everybody stay blessed.